history, I got up there. I don't know why he put his grades one by one, everything.
So why so late with the grades? Why teachers got to go back to all the work?
Because all the kids behind.
Yeah, it's just that's the point that I'm making. I'm making why are they going to input and grades? Because you were originally behind. You didn't submit it when it was due. Y'all know how I feel about guests and individuals sacrificing their time. I don't take it lightly. It's very serious because I do ask people. Some people get back, some people don't. I try to reach out to people that fits the dynamic of what we have going here. Even on social media, I can read and just kind of listen. And he quoted me on a few things that he was talking about. And I'm like, humorous but real. My group is humorous but real. I love to laugh and joke, but I'm real. So this man right here, Mr. Greg Hatchett, caught my eye. So I invited him, got right back to me. Y'all know when people do that to me, I'm like, it's my favorite people because I'm that type of person. So tell me right there, he's one of my type of men. So I'm gonna give him the floor. I ain't gonna say much, but he just know I appreciate his time. I told him that, but I know how I feel.
Thanks for having me, first of all. I'm 36 years old, from Philadelphia, just like y'all. Father, 2 sons. I didn't finish high school. I'm definitely paying for that. Trying to make my way. I was a fighter, just like Heavy. I still fight from time to time, but I never really pushed myself. Like I heard one thing he said is like, how you gonna do anything for anybody if you don't help yourself? I get a call one day. This was a crazy decision, but to me it felt like the best decision in my life. I get a call and say, look, we got a guy near Pittsburgh, in a place called Butler, PA. It's like 5.5 hours away. We got a guy up here, he 0-2. You 0-3, that's perfect. I said, what? Y'all gonna give me one? Because I'm fighting all big guys that's undefeated. This guy my size. Crazy decision. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. I had to go up to the office at my job. They're like, listen, we don't think you can take off that weekend. What you mean? I live around the corner. I fill in for everybody. Y'all gonna let me get one, and I'm about to go get this win. Y'all crazy. I'm charged up because I not only did I ever get an easy fight, I'm fighting a guy my size. I can't wait. I'm like, y'all tripping. Get going up there. They like, well, listen. Well, you know what I mean? You gotta figure something out. I'm like, figure something out? Y'all crazy. I'm going up there, and I don't care what happened. Now I'm jeopardizing my job. So now I'm putting my job up against something I love. If I love something this much, how come I couldn't do right by it in the first place?
Hello guys, welcome back to Life's Deceits podcast with me, your girl, Jen Simpson. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having an amazing week, day, morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world. Happy Black History Month, guys. Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. Guys, for Black History Month, I will be honoring and celebrating my powerhouse Black sisters and brothers who are doing amazing things. And today, I am thrilled to welcome Vincent Garrett. He is a born and raised West Philadelphian. He was born in West Philadelphia. Vincent is not only an educator and entrepreneur, but he is also a passionate youth leader. Dedicated. He is dedicated, guys. He's dedicated. He's committed. He is making waves. He's dedicated to mentoring and empowering young people. Through his nonprofit program, Mentoring Leaders Produce Mentor Leaders. That's the program name. Listen to it again. Mentor Leaders Produce Mentor Leaders. Isn't that an amazing name? I had to read it twice for it to really click to me. He guides young men in navigating life's challenges and finding their purpose. nearly 2 decades, two, not one, but 2 decades of experience in education and currently serving as a school assistant principal. You hear that? You hear all that good stuff about Vincent? Vincent is on a mission to raise awareness about the struggles young people face and advocate for equitable education and opportunities for those often overlooked. I am absolutely ecstatic about Vincent. Like, it's Black History Month, and we are going to honor and give flowers to our Black sisters and brothers who are continuing to do amazing things, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Vincent also is an author of a series of children's books, including his latest release, which I have right here, Missing Dad. Missing Dad reflects on his own experiences growing up without a father. Vincent didn't grow up with a father. His father wasn't active in his life. However, that didn't change his circumstances of who he was going to become, because he also had an active mother. And she was a powerhouse. She was a strong voice in his life. So guys, join us as we dive into his journey, insights, and the powerful work he's doing to uplift the next generations. So guys, without further ado, welcome Vincent. Welcome Vincent. Welcome Vincent. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. No complaints. No complaints. I'm doing good.
How was your day?
It was a productive day, I would say. I'm preparing to do a TED Talk. So I was going through like offers, pitch, title, objective, this a whole, that whole process. It's like
Amazing.
mindset awareness, like all that type of stuff. So pain points, like all that stuff. I'm like,
I'm excited for you.
thank you.
And I'm smiling because I always get excited when I see my Black men just doing phenomenal things. Not for just, we say, yeah, we're doing it for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but for our people,
Yes.
our children, our
Yes.
Black men, our young Black boys that need to see other men
Yes.
that look like them
Yes.
thriving and showing them that they can do it. And
That's
it's not what's that word that everybody throws out there? I don't know what word to call it, but when people see Black men doing things, they find it uncool. That's lame.
yeah.
But showing them that it's okay to do these things,
That's my mentorship. That's my mentorship program. That's why I started it.
Yeah. So when I saw these two beautiful books,
Hey, you got them.
yes, I did.
Hey.
Listen, when it came, they were trying to steal it because you forgot to put my name on it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do it. I was going to use it when I was speaking to you. I'm like, I'll just sign this in to her. She know I'm sending them. Like, whatever she was saying.
Listen, when it came, they called me and they're like, we got an order here. Are you at this office? And I'm like, yes, it's me. And it's mine. And she's like, damn it. I was hoping that the person wouldn't answer so I could take them. And I'm like, girl, you ain't taking my stuff.
Who was it?
It's they work in our mailroom.
Oh, okay.
So I said to her, so now you and I have to make this possible, because I promised her that I'll get her autographed copies of these two books from you. I'm like, I promise, just give me my books.
I tried to put in like I was looking for like the horror box. They didn't have like the horror box. I was like, I'll just put it inside of the padded package. She'll get it.
So you're gonna have to send me one more, please.
They saw it. They liked the cover. All right, yeah. I mean,
these are absolutely beautiful. I love the artwork.
Thank you. It was so intentional. So that's good.
Listen, everything about this book gave me goosebumps. I'm like, I'm in love. I want to frame them. I want to keep them. So thank you for writing these books. I loved it. And I love the workbook, by the way. My son is 14, but I'm still gonna get him to use it. So Vincent Garrett.
Garrett.
I was about to say Garnett. Like, where am I going? Garnett. Like, girl, get it right. You are an author. You're not only an author, but you're a mentor,
Yes.
and you are a school principal.
Yeah, I'm an administrator there. I started off being an educator. I was an educator for like 18 years in the classroom. And what drove me to do this nonprofit work was being in the classroom and teaching and realizing that teachers struggled very bad with building relationships. So I did a pilot in 2017, which led to me starting my mentorship program to support teachers who were struggling with building relationships with students.
Now that's different.
Yeah,
And it's different because you're absolutely right. Teachers don't know how to build relationships.
no, that's the driver. I think that's the tool of life. It's
Yeah.
communication and relationships. That's the tool.
And
And
learning how to communicate with youths, I think that's the most challenging thing. And automatically they start judging our
absolutely, it's
children.
easy. It's very easy. 2 days of bad behavior can cause a school year of unproductive work because you formulated this perception of the student in your head. And sometimes, no matter how good they are, you're done. So no matter how good they try and do, you will not acknowledge them. So it's tough, and I realized that early on. So I was like, okay, let me create something. Let me create a system that works because we're both getting a paycheck, and you will not continue to send all of your students to my room, and we're still getting the same amount of money. It doesn't work like that. You have to push yourself to do that, and that sometimes means being uncomfortable.
I love that. And I love that because you're taking the extra step and the time that most wouldn't do. So
Hmm.
teaching as a job. You go to school,
Hmm.
the lesson, that's it. If they get it or they get it, they get it. They don't, that they don't. And then you just move on to the next.
Right.
But success is not only for the child, it's also for you. So I think
Yep.
of teaching as, if you can help children succeed,
Hmm.
if you can help them change, if you can help them understand, then that's a bigger success for yourself and for the school as a whole.
Absolutely.
So I
Absolutely.
really admire what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I want to know, I know you're from Philly.
Hmm.
What was your background growing up? What was it like for you, and what drove you? What inspired you to want to become an educator and cause this huge pivot?
It was a combination of many things. It was one, my upbringing, and it was what I was exposed to. So my upbringing was being from West Philadelphia, single parent household, didn't know my biological father. My mom didn't marry, and I consider him to be my father, but he wasn't an active father. He was present, he was there, but when I say present, I my interpretation of a parent is if I received a C in a class, my parent would know why I received a C. What assignments were missing? What skill did not master? Um, what is my mindset going into school? Who are my friends? Like that wasn't my experience growing up. So when I say active, wasn't present but not active. My mother was and is my role model in terms of her grit and determination, and what she didn't have didn't hinder her from doing what she needed to do. Her mindset was, of course, growing up back then, it was way different. It was you were able to be held accountable by not just your mother, by your neighbor, multiple neighbors. So my upbringing was more of that accountability in comparison to what I see now. So my upbringing was a loving environment. From a family of five. West Philadelphia, born and raised. I went to school in North Philadelphia. Went to Dobbins High School. Graduated Dobbins High School. Went on to Temple University. Then I went on to Eastern University for graduate school. And I was in grade school, in middle school. I was adopted by the Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers is one of the biggest real estate companies, corporations there is. And they adopted 60 students from the inner city based on attendance, grades, and we were handpicked. Now, when we were handpicked, we were going to be tracked from similar to a case study. If these wealthy individuals would give us all the resources we need, what would be the outcome? So essentially, we were case studies. They gave us all the resources possible. To even now, when I'm an adult male, and I think about some of the people that I had in front of me, I didn't realize the impact until my adulthood. I'm like, we had Boeing executives come speak to us one to one. Now knowing like, what? Like, where would I be if I was not so young and immature and didn't realize like I was exposed to too much at an early age
Right.
because I didn't realize it was too much. Like there was like top executive, they would bring like top executives to come speak to us. They came from in the city. All we think about is I want to pay the latest sneakers. That's a win. Like that's a win. Or a jacket so I can blend in. That's a win. I'm not worrying about executive. I'm just whatever. So my upbringing was a lot of structure, a lot of accountability, and a lot of love. Um, so it was, just being from the city is just rough. Like you experience certain things, you see certain things that you may feel is your norm,
Yeah.
but as you grow and learn and expand and explore and meet different people, that's not normal. Some of the things you may have experienced and or witnessed that's not normal. Like death is not normal to other folks who my neighborhood we speak about death like yeah a couple people yeah yep they was shooting around the corner.
Yeah.
That's
So
not abnormal. That's a level of trauma. Once you get older, you experience like different things. That's trauma. We speak about it so freely. So for me, just I was exposed and I was held accountable, and I had a standard that I couldn't waver away from. And it wasn't just from my mom; it was from just multiple individuals. Just understanding that your environment can make or break you, very easy and very fast. So,
you touched a lot of things
hmm
just now, and I'm glad that you touched it because this season I'm focusing on breaking generational cycles as a lifestyle.
Perfect.
Um, but before I touch that, a lot of people hear Philly, and I know Philly based off of what I hear
hmm
or what I see on the news or social media, whatever it may be. Explain what it was like living in Philadelphia. Like I know you said obviously shootings down the street, that's not normal, but it was your norm.
Right.
What was it like living in Philadelphia? What does Philadelphia represent? Like
Philadelphia,
country.
it depends on your viewpoint, but I can say one thing that everybody could speak to in Philly, no matter what area and section of the city you're from. Philly is grit and determination.
Mhm.
Point blank. Period. Philly is not saying to make or break, but the situations, the things you are surrounded by can make or break you. It's either in Philly you could be a leader or a follower. There's really no in between. Like just to put it in plain, simple terms, and the understanding is either you could be a leader or a follower. There's really no you can't be in between in Philly. It's either you're gonna be the change agent and the leader, and everybody's gonna follow your lead, or either you're just gonna be the follower according to the person who's leading. There's really no in between. You can't be in between in Philly. You can't be 50% here, 50% there. It's either you're gonna be the one to make up the cool slang word, the term that
Mhm.
everybody's gonna use, and everybody's gonna follow that, or either you're gonna be the person who's following it. Like in Philly right now, it's either like the hairstyle, the same attire. That's what it is. Like it's either you're going to be the head or follower, the leader. There's no in between in Philly. So Philly determines like being creative, um, embracing individual, and grit and determination. Because in Philly, it's not too much that. Not saying I fear. I think Philly has equipped me for a variety of different things. Being being able to multitask in many different environments. So if one day I want to wear my boots, jacket, varsity jacket, boots, fatigue pants, great. That's the style. Or either I can do corporate suit, shoes, scarf. It depends. Like, so Philly has equipped you with all those different skill sets that you have to put together. But Philly is tough. Like Philly is tough. Just being honest, is tough. Philly will make or break you, and that speaks to an educator as well. Going into an urban school environment, it can make or break you. You'll go into one of these schools in the city and sign a contract and say you have to teach there for 3 years, and you'll realize the kids in that school are suffering from a lot of different experiences and trauma, and so is the parent, which will make you say, "I'm done. I'll go to um, a different school district that's better equipped and better resourced than the school that I'm working at."
Okay. And I said breaking generational cycles is a lifestyle
Hmm.
because you touch something. Although you didn't have an active father, you were still raised in a loving home.
Yep.
Most people would be like, well, you didn't come from a two-parent home. You didn't have
Mm.
a father, so you're not going to amount to anything. They already put all these stigmas on you. They already labeled you.
Yep.
Automatically, they already wrote you off because you didn't come from this. People say it's a perfect home if you have a father and a mother there,
Yep.
and they are active, and they
Yep.
have the money, and they're the voice. But you were raised in a loving home,
Hmm.
even with a father absent,
Yep.
even without an enforcer that's the father stomping around saying, "Did you do your homework?" Making sure you're getting good grades,
Yep.
making sure you're planning your future.
Yep. And one thing my mother did do, she never placed me in a position to judge or hate my father. She never did that. She never put me in a position to say things to me that's not true. Example, you the man of the house. No young man wants to be the man of the house. My mother never said, "Oh, it's Father's Day. You have to tell me Happy Father's Day. 'Cause I'm the mother and the father." She never did stuff like that because she knows she could never be my father.
Hmm.
She knew that if my father wanted to, he had full grace and opportunity to be in my life, and she would never hinder him from doing so. So when I say my mom is my hero, she had every right to hold a grudge, be mad. Like she had all those reasons to, but she knew that would hinder me as a child, and she didn't. She opted not to do that. So a lot of things she could have done, she didn't do because she was looking at big picture.
you know, from even back then and now, you find a lot of women, they still do that.
Yep,
Like
all
a
the skills.
bitterness. It's almost like, okay, well, you weren't a part of what I built, what I created. So I'm not going to allow you to have that relationship or reap any type of love or connection with, they would say, my child.
Yep.
Knowing that you had a blessing like that, a mother like that, how did that help shape you growing up as a young man and now an adult?
Hmm. I mean, that taught me about self. That taught me about self accountability. That taught me about self respect. That taught me about give others grace and don't judge, because who are you to judge? It taught me how to have patience. It taught me how to not hold grudges. It taught me how to pray for those who may have done you wrong and let it go and move on because it's going to hinder you. It told me so many different lessons that I now apply to the youth. And that's part of the reason why I feel like my program, my mentorship program is so successful and impactful is because I take those same principles and apply them now. They may say it's old school still works. The principles are the same. I just now shape my program to fit the times that are more like social media, it's more live, it's more vibrant. What are the styles? My core principle of my program is what I was raised with, and I still use that to date, and it still works flawlessly. I just have to incorporate the glitz and the glamour of 2025 into it, and the program works like magic. But those principles, my mom, just watching her just say if she didn't have the money, she didn't, oh, whoa, nobody's hiring, I can't do this. She would always find a way to say, well, I gotta get another job. Well, I gotta do this. I gotta plan trips. I gotta plan engagements
Mhm.
for people to buy tickets. And I get like, that's why I feel like I get my, not saying, not saying I don't like the word hustle, but that's why I get my determination and my creative ability to make something work out of nothing. I get it from her. She was able to listen. My mom would make it work. Like she didn't have 100, she would have 25. She'll get to 25 to 50 and then make 50 to 20. Like she'll make it work and be happy. And I'm like, you don't have no money though. So like, why would you just be happy? You don't like we don't have it. Like why are you in good spirits? And like, but she was just she understood that, and she was just so centered and grounded and just realized that if nobody's gonna give it to you, you gotta go do. And that's what I do. But she taught me a lot of those core principles. She did, and I watched her do it. So that's why when I was able to give or do, and even write my book, it was intentional because I wanted her to be a part of that. She was a part of my experience growing up, and I wanted her to understand that she impacted me a lot. So in the book, I made sure that one, she looked good. I made her look good. She looked like a cool mom. And one, and then one, the message is that I'm gonna be like when I get to the age to be strong enough for the both of us, I'm gonna be strong for the both of us. So that's kind of like that's the message I wanted that for her to understand. That
You know, when I was reading the book and you were talking about being at your ceremony,
hmm
and by the way, I love how you listen. Love how listen. I'm just listen. This book made me feel so happy on the inside just looking at the colors, the lipstick, the purple lipstick.
I hook her up. Yeah,
Look at this.
hooked her up.
I love this. I absolutely love this. You have no idea. When I saw it, I was like, your imagination came to light. I love how you brought your mom to light.
hmm
I love how when you were at the ceremony, although you were getting all these awards, like, you know, you're a shot caller,
I'm in. I'm winning. Y'all thought I was winning.
you're winning. And although other children's dads were there cheering them on, bigging them up, and in the back of the mind, you were still saying, I wish my dad was here. You
So
still rechanneled and refocused and saw your mom.
yeah.
You were able to refocus and feel her love for you.
hmm
She was more than enough.
Yep.
She's not trying to take the place of your dad.
Nope.
She's not trying to be a man and a woman all
Nope.
wrapped up in one.
Nope.
She's just there, your mom,
Yep.
your support. And although you were feeling those emotions, you looked over and you remembered, my mom got me.
Yep. She got me. She got me. I'm good. Like I'm not saying it's replaced, but my mom is. She's my support. She's my foundation. She got me. she's available. She made herself available to make sure she was there. So I'm good. We'll make it work.
And I love how you did that. I love how you made sure to highlight her.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't glorify her in a way where you're like, well, my mom did it all for me. Scratch my dad. You gave her flowers in such a beautiful way.
Thank you.
And I love that. That
Thank
that was that was a part of the book that I was like, I just love how it just clicked to you. My mom's here. What
you. I'm
what am I
good.
pouting for?
I'm like, what am I like? My mom right there. So like, I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Like,
I
thanks,
love that.
thanks, mom. I appreciate you.
Thank you, mommy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, honestly. Because it's not easy raising children.
Nope.
When we hear it when we're a young girl, it takes a village to raise a child, and now I'm an adult.
Right.
And I have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I'm like,
Yeah.
lot, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
I think we're in a generation where people don't appreciate that.
No.
And it's okay. And you made a statement. You said, back in the day, it was okay for our neighbors, people to see us doing something wrong and correct us.
Absolutely.
Say something to us, pull us aside and try to teach us a different way. But today,
Oh,
it's
it's
a
different.
big no-no. Don't speak to my child.
Don't
You're
say
not my parent.
don't say nothing to my child. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And completely wrong. Don't say nothing to my child. Me, you gonna have a problem. Which all that does, it empowers the child to continue, or the youth, the young adult, to continue and feel now empowered by doing something wrong, but feeling empowered about the wrong. Like if people stood back and just took a second and think about the impact of one moment, such as empowering the wrong, is so much power in that for the young adult, the child, or whoever that person may be. When you empower a wrong, that's a dangerous game. That's a dangerous game because you now gave this child ammunition, encouragement to continue to do wrong. And now, how dare you challenge me on the wrong? Like I could don't stop talking. I can stand on the corner if I want to. Stop talking to me.
Right.
Like what? Like, are you kidding me? That's the times in which we're living in right now. It's like I tell people right now,
It's a
it's
very scary time.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it
And
is.
you in your book, when you talked about your neighbor that saw you and asked you, why are you crying? Why are you angry? And he offered that help to tie your tie.
Yep.
That was powerful.
Yes, it was. I remember him to date. To date. That story is that all that story right there. Some people are like, that's my real story. I still have the picture. I have the picture of that actual day. I have the award from that day.
Mhm,
To go to show as an adult man how impactful those moments are because I wrote that book as an adult male.
mhm.
It happened in my childhood. So that goes to show how impactful moments are.
Yep.
That goes to show also how cautious you need to be when you're raising your child and saying certain things and doing certain things and modeling certain things and exposing them to certain things because it will stay with them for a long time. With me, I wrote that book and I'm thinking about moment. Why am I thinking about that moment? That was when I was a kid. Like, why do I still think about that when I have all these other
It,
things in front of
it
me?
helped shape you. It shaped you into the man you are today.
It did. It did.
And you touch so many things in like one sentence that I'm like, I'm trying to break it down and go back to it because listen, listen, Vincent. You even talked about the real estate that took you in.
Yep.
And when you were talking about it, I was thinking about this moment that keeps it's happening in my son's life. He's 14. Yes,
Mm,
as an active father. So now I want to touch two parts. You can have an active father and you may not have an active father,
yep.
but the support is needed regardless of a
Doesn't
child's situation or circumstance or lifestyle. And the reason why I said that, because you talked about that, you talked about having the resources. resources that people would probably think you shouldn't even have access to. Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a single child. You're a single parent's child's son. Why do you get it? Why couldn't my son get it?
Yep.
Right? And I'm
Yep.
thinking about it. My son plays basketball, so this thing that I do is absolutely wrong. I'm probably gonna change it, but I usually don't scream his name. If he's on the court, I don't scream his name. I'll just be like, "Yeah, that's my boy. He
Yeah.
gets it."
You
So
tried
there's this one parent on the team, and he is always, you can hear him at the back of the bleachers yelling, "Go, Shawnee Sean! Yeah, that's my boy, Shawnee Sean." and he's and he's literally yelling out, "Let's go, Shawnee Sean! Come on, bring out the beast!" And I'm sitting there like, bro, come on now. And when it's halftime, he'll run over to me and he'll be like, "What did you give him to eat this weekend?" Yo, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, "Sean, keep bringing out the beast, keep being consistent." And I realize every time he calls out my son's name, it lit fire in him.
I'm telling you. I'm t-
It
I'm I'm telling you. Listen. That was my state. Like I'm telling you, that stage moment when I heard my friends like when they was giving my friends the handshake and like, yeah, Rick, yeah, and I'm like, I like, oh man, like this some nonsense. It means like when you think about a young man, it, it means so much.
means a lot.
I found my father. I went to go. I I knocked on my father's door. That's how I found my father. My grandmother um, lived on a small block in West Philly, and her birthday is on Valentine's Day. So every year, that's my Valentine, no matter what.
Hmm.
So she passed away, but every Valentine, that's our birthday. I would go over there and do Valentine's Day and birthday with her. That was our routine. No matter what's going on in my life, Grandma gets Valentine's Day. Everybody else gotta wait. So that's just what it is.
Nice.
So I would go over there Valentine's Day, birthday, me and Grandma, and during those times, they were able to buy houses for cheap. So my grandfather was in the real estate, so he brought a lot of houses on the same block close by. He bought a lot of houses. So I guess my father fell on hard times, whatever the case may be, and he ended up moving on the house where my grandmother lived on the same. He moved in one of those houses, and it was across the street from my grandmother's house. So I go over to my grandmother's house, and she's like, "Your dad across the street, he just moved in." I'm like,
Mm.
okay. And that week, I happened to be reading my daily bread, and the daily bread, I forgot the scripture. I still have the daily bread. It was talking about forgiveness, and it was talking about how God forgives us of all our sins, so we are not to hold judgment against anybody. Because what if He did that to us and all the sins that we commit? And I'm like, that makes complete sense. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go knock on his door. I went across the street and I knocked on his door. First time I saw my dad face to face. I may have been with him when I was little, but to recognize, like, if I saw him on the street, I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. Like, no. So I knocked on his door. It took a while to answer. I hear him like fumbling around. He's like, who is it? I'm like, it's your son. So he's like fumbling around. Finally opened the door, kind of peeks out. He's like, what's up? About time you came to see me. I'm like, yeah, just checking on you. He's like, where you going? I said, I'm going to grandmother's house across the street. He's like, yeah, I'll be there over there. Let me get dressed. He wasn't coming over there. He never thought in his wildest dreams his son would knock on the door to see him. Like, no. So I looked at him like, he looked like me. He just need a haircut, a little stuffy. But he looked like me. I'm like, okay, he looked like me. He just need a haircut. And then a week later, he passed away. He passed away a week later after that. So for me, it was like relieving, but it was also like, damn, I was planning to go back since I know he lived there, and then me and him could kind of build a relationship. So I kind of carried the weight of guilt for a long time. Like I didn't really like I didn't have that guy. Like I'm my youth. I'm like their guy. Like if they going through a transition, if they need questions, if they applying to college, if they dating girls, if they like the same sex, like whatever's going on in the world, I'm their guy to go to. Like I'm their level-headed guy. Like I'm the, the conscious, like Mr. Garrett said, don't do it. You know, if you want to do it, you know Mr. Garrett. I'm kind of like
You don't
I'm
have
their
the answers.
yeah, I'm their guy. So they call me no matter what. Like Mr. Garrett, I'm in the gym. Mr. Garrett, I just got locked up. I was selling drugs, and I know like I'm their go-to guy for all those things. So I didn't have that. So when I felt that guilt, I was just carrying it with me for so long because I felt like, damn, I should have just went back. If I would just went back a couple more days, like I could, like I carried that with me so long. But then who was I going to tell?
Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna tell. Like I don't, who I'm gonna tell that to?
yeah,
So with me, it was a lot of healing I had to do to even do this work because this work I felt like I have to be aligned and I have to be mentally prepared because I'm taking on so many different personalities, traumas, relationships, parent relationships that's broken, children that are just neglected, dealing with trauma, children who are uncertain about their future, children youth who want to do good, the environment pulling them down, saying, no, don't do that, saying getting straight A's, you a weirdo, you corny, that's not thorough, that's not decent. Don't nobody care about that. Like I'm dealing with all those things and I'm battling against all those things saying, nope, be abstinent. Nope, we're not, nope, ain't no you having sex now. There's no point, it's stupid. I'm doing all those things going against what other people are saying. And sometimes the music, the influence overrides and it actually wins because you need multiple Mr. Garretts to speak that same language. It can't just be Mr.
right.
Garrett. This is more. It takes more than just that. You spoke to that village approach. It takes more than just Mr. Garrett making sure reinforcing, steering you on the right track. It takes more than that because though you're consumed by so many other things that may be negative, that's easily um, appealing to you.
How old were you when you met your dad?
I came from church that day. I was, let's say, I was like 30, 31. Yeah, I was about like 30, 31. Yeah, I was like 30, 31 because I was like adult that time. So I was like, I'm going over there. I'm like, whatever. I'm going to knock on his door. Grandma, like, go shake his ass up. I remember her telling me that. He's like, shake his ass up here across the street. Said, bet. And once she gave me the motivation, I'm like, say less.
All right, I'm gonna
I'm
do
over
it.
there. I went across that street. Bring your behind to the door because grandma said you in here. So I need to
You
talk to you.
know, I'm glad. Sometimes when I meet people, I'm not too sure if you know what their beliefs are, and I'm glad that you talk about the daily bread and you talk about God.
Yes, that's my
Sometimes
mom.
I just don't know. Um, but I believe and I strongly live by God allows things to happen for a reason in a
Hmm.
certain season, and there's a purpose. And the reason why I asked you how old you were because I strongly believe, although he passed away and you wanted to build that relationship, I strongly believe that God wanted you to meet him at that moment and get some type of peace and closure within yourself.
Hmm.
Although he passed away the week later,
Hmm.
you still received something. You may not have saw it right away, but you
Right.
know now.
Absolutely. That helped me a lot. That helped me a lot. Like that moment was like all the times I kept saying I don't care about my dad when I know I did. I'm like, I do care about you. Like you look like me. I look better than you. I don't look better, but
he,
so
he
I'm
looked
looking
kind
at,
of scruffy at the time.
yeah, I'm looking at him like you need a haircut, so whatever. I look well. But for me, I needed that. I need that sense of like I do have a dad. He's alive. He may not have done X thing, but for me growing up, I don't care about that past stuff. I don't give a crap about that. It's done. It's about now. Can we build a relationship now? And I feel like, and I know when parents do that, that's so much damage they're going to cause. But when adults haven't dealt with their conflict, it hinders your child all the time. Like I
Yep.
tell them that, and that's when I do my intake for my mentorship program. That's the first thing I do is identify the relationship between the parents, because that could be the make or break for that child. So I don't want to start off with the make or break and we end up in the same spot and this child is trying to go to college. And because you're at odds and he's with me, you don't want to sign the paperwork, tell him to sign it. He can sign it. He's not the caregiver. So he's not on the paperwork, but he lives with you. So who's going to sign his financial aid form because he's not, he can't do it. And it hinders the child all the time. So for me, I do that first because I know how it goes now with enough experience in his work that that could be the end right there. So I don't want to start with the end. I want to start with the repair first, and then we work our way through.
The first page I read in this book was forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And you go to say, Dear Dad, I know you are no longer here, but I feel that I need to say this. Even if it's just to honor the space you held in my life. That wouldn't have been written the same if you had not knocked on that door and seen his face and got the peace that you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And been able to take that deep breath that you needed to take so you could release.
Yep.
So when we talk about seasons in our lives and how God makes things play out, it played out that way so that you could write all these books.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually know what forgiveness and healing feels like, and you can demonstrate it and give it to other young men.
Yep.
And you even talked about music and how music influences these children and how it plays on their mind. And the repetition. So if you don't have, the child doesn't have somebody consistently repeating, taking the time to repeat it to them and not getting tired. You know, as parents, sometimes, like I said to my son, I saw this quote that says, you know, it had this whole blurb and it said, one day, son, you will understand why I kept repeating these things to you. Why I said it with such force and power. And it sounded like anger. And it sounded like I was nagging you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I love you and because
Yep.
you have so much influence around you. You got friends, you got teachers, you got music, you got strangers, you got haters,
Mm-hmm.
you got coaches.
Yep.
And sometimes your coaches may not even like you.
Absolutely.
So you talk about that and you say, you know, the music and how much it can play and riddle in their life and it can help shape them.
Absolutely. Easy. Very
So
easy.
very easy. And I think, you know, when they say, you know, people always say, well, that's not true. You know, Christians say you gotta be careful what type of music you listen to. You do. Because if you don't have that mental toughness
Yep.
and you don't have somebody that's active in your life helping you to get out of that dark, listen, our mind, I said to somebody, our mind could be our biggest enemies.
Oh, absolutely. Once that self-doubt get in there, it's over with.
Once that self-doubt gets in there, it's over with because we're going to sit, because at some point, we're going to
That's
sit
right.
with our thoughts. And when we're angry and we're sitting with our thoughts and we don't have anybody to call, we turn on a certain song. And that song could be a song that's talking about, you know what? Take revenge in your own hands. Go
Yep.
out there, go do this, go do that. And because you have nobody else that's
Yep.
in your ear reminding you that you're powerful, you are loved. Forgiveness is possible and it's yours,
Yep.
own it because it belongs to you, you lose your power.
Yep.
And so when you talk about that music thing, I love that you said that because the explanation needs to be over explained.
Yep. Very much so.
So
Very
I
much.
love that you said that your students have you as a consistent reminder. And you going through that season in your life helped you to be able to communicate in a better way, in a more effective way.
Yep.
Because I've learned that sometimes people think that they've forgiven and they release that thing. And I said to somebody, do you understand forgiveness? Because sometimes people think they forgive, but when they hear the person's name still, they feel this tension in their body. And they don't know why they feel that tension. They're like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good. I forgave. I don't care about that person. Listen to the way that you're responding when you hear that person's name and how you behave.
That's not the true forgiveness. That's the for the sake of saying I did. That's for the sake of when I could you can sense it easy. You say the name person be like, I don't really care why you saying their name. Like, why are you responding that way? Or your body language change, your tone changes, the way you look change,
Your nervous system.
your nervous system, you're looking like it, forgiveness is like I said, it wasn't for me. It was for me. Like that helped me so much by saying, I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm like, I forgive you. You wasn't there. Times we don't gotta play catch no more. We're past that.
Right.
Go out to eat and have a dinner and have some dialogue about how you grew up.
Mhm. And I
Let's
felt that. I felt that. I,
let's do it.
I felt that on the first page. Like you have really forgiven. And I think,
Let's do my dad.
yeah, so and I think we forget, like I always say to people, common sense ain't so common. So stop saying common sense is common because it's not.
No, it's not. It's not. Walking down a dark block with headphones on. Who would do that? A lot of people do that.
A lot of
It's
people.
dark, you can't see, and you got headphone music. Why would you do that? A lot of people do it all the time. Why
Yeah.
are you running late at night when you like in the park? What do you like? Why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing it? But it's like I said, common sense is it's not you can't
Yeah.
take that for granted anymore.
And people are battling things that we don't understand. We could see, we could think that our parents are perfectly normal. They should know better because they're older than us and they had us. No, you got to give grace because we don't know.
Yep.
So I love that you not only forgave, but you gave your dad grace.